All right, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and to all the ships at sea. Hey, hello from RJ's Knives, where we are chock full of sailors, I tell you. We've got all kinds of people on our panel. We have Tom from Knife Delights. We
We
have,
are chock full of.
oh, somebody's got it going on in two
Nope,
places.
I caught it. I caught it. I'm a
Nice.
rookie. I'm a rookie.
We've got Stephen, also known as Captain Pugwash, holding down the UK side of things. We've got John from Thrifty Kniffy. He's hanging in there. And of course, our special guest today, the man, the myth, the legend, the submariner above all submariners, JB from Big Red EDC.
Wow. I think I need to.
I think I'm going to stand up and clap.
No, no, don't. I was like, who's he talking about? Who in the world?
You know who it is. It's okay. If you need to take your hat off because your head got a couple sizes bigger, it's all
Yeah,
right.
I'm
We
a stretch
understand.
flex fit out. That's for sure.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on to the live stream, JB, because you were kind enough to have me on your a couple of your channel chats, and of course, I'm a regular person in your Saturday Night Live live streams every Saturday
Yes,
at
sir.
10 p.m. on Saturday nights. If you guys can make it, it's a fantastic show, and we just always have a good time in there. So
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And man, I tell you what, there's those darn channel chats have gotten few and far between now, and I need to do more of them. It's just scheduling them. Oh my goodness, with my work schedule and everybody else, because I usually work opposite of everybody else. It
right.
seems like, and but I love doing them, and I love doing that one-on-one because I can really focus on the individual, and we can really just talk. Because I'm always wanting to focus on the chat stream as well, during live like this. But it's fun. It's fun either way. But I know Thrifty and I have talked before about getting together, and it's I want to do it. Just got to find the time.
You're muted, John, so you'll have to unmute there. Were you saying something?
Nothing important.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that's just as much my fault as his.
Oh no, it's crazy. I mean, our work since the first of the year, our work schedule has just been nuts. So I'm I'm lucky I'm doing this, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you were, because I kind of wanted to you know have you on just to kind of pay you back for giving me a big hand up when I started my channel, and getting me exposure and stuff. And actually, because of our channel chats and you starting to do the face forward live streams, that really helped me to get over that kind of hurdle of showing my mug on TV, because you're always, when you first start off, you're like, I don't know if I want to show my face.
Well,
And then,
yeah, I mean, it's just, it's, well, to be perfectly honest with you, it wasn't really the norm.
yeah,
When I started doing videos, it wasn't the norm. And it's just, yeah, exactly. And you get into that habit, and then it's like, everybody was like, you should do face forward. And I'm like, why would anybody want to look at me? When I watch videos, I want to look at the knife, not the guy showing me the knife.
right.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to do face forward videos, but all right, we'll give it a shot on the live stream. My viewership didn't drop, so it must have been okay. So
Yeah, that's always the thing. If your viewership doesn't drop, that's a good thing.
people are like, oh no, go back, go back.
Well, I think we kind of came to the same conclusion that, like, when we're doing reviews and we're showing a knife, in that case, the knife is the star of the show. But
Absolutely.
then when it's a live stream, the people do want to see the personalities behind the channel. They want to see the people get a kind of a look behind the curtain and see what's going on, and that's always fun for everybody. Hey, Sean from the EDC Den is here. Welcome, Sean. And Mimo, my master moderator, is here too. And Addicted to Blades. Good to see you guys. So happy to see all you guys in the chat. This is going to be a fun show. Well, you wanted to talk about some Rough Rider Reserve knives, JB. Do you want to start off with that topic, and we'll kind of
Sure.
go around and see what
Absolutely.
everybody's got?
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, like I recently got one in that is probably in my experience, the best made Rough Rider Reserve so far, the Patriarch.
Beautiful.
And it really is. You've got, I mean, the pull. I mean, it's
Wow.
got some snap. That back spring is, like I was telling Patty, I think it's, and trust me, I'm no slip joint expert. I would call it a 6, maybe even creeping up to a 7 on the pull. But it's just a really, really solid knife. Love the profile. Love the blade.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. I think that one's really nice.
And like I said, I've had comments where people are like, "Are they going to do anything but denim micarta?" Well, they do, and I would like to see more of it myself. But as far as the knife is concerned, it's definitely a beauty. Now, I don't know. Do any of you guys have the Patriarch? Is your spring, similar? That's really interesting to me.
What size are blades on it?
It is, I believe it's right about 3. Yeah, your cutting edge is right at 3. Your blade length is about 3 1/4.
Right. Oh, that's as long as it's UK legal, that's even better.
Yeah. Now, and when you say UK legal, do they actually go by cutting edge or do they go by total blade length?
It's cutting edge by law.
Okay. Good.
But
Very good.
You have to put in that some policemen aren't that up to date with law.
Well,
Sounds crazy, but it's true. And as long as you explain it to them, they usually would accept it. Policemen are just working men.
Oh, absolutely. Now, talking about different colorways, this one jumps into that different colorway in a big way. And I mean, to me, that's an absolutely gorgeous handle style or material, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's the first two-tone one, actually.
If I remember
right.
It is. And of course, this is a Sabak. I believe it's the 25. Yes, 25 Sabak.
Very like the Navaja.
Yeah. And I'm not big on the pattern per se, but that colorway is just absolutely fantastic. Love that color.
Yeah, I think where they kind of missed on that one for me was the name, because I didn't think that a Star Wars reference in a traditional was the way to go. But maybe that's just me, because I'm not a big Star Wars guy, so maybe they were aiming for people younger than myself. I don't know. But go ahead, Stephen. What do you got there?
There's a Navaja shape, so it's very, very similar.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's the same country. I believe that's from a Spanish knife, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I mean, this is just a small Navaja, but the shape is just lovely on it. Really nice knife.
Yeah.
Also, for anybody that is interested right now, Smoky Mountain Knife Works is running a great big sale on Rough Rider knives. And if you go to Big Red's channel, he has a discount code for free shipping at SMKW. So definitely go do that. It looks like we have a special guest has entered. A special guest has entered the chat.
Who's this big hunk you have on there?
You must be talking about JB.
I bet he's a big old hunk of love. Sorry, Jersey Knife guy. Sorry, Pete. You're old news now. Oh, you've been holding back on me, RJ. Oh, where did you find this big hunk of a man?
Well, he's a great big sailor, man. So you gotta be careful.
I love sailors.
He spent too long in the barrel.
Yeah, apparently.
Fortunately, they don't have room for the barrels on the sub.
No.
Oh, that's
Oh God.
He's going to start dressing up soon, RJ. You're going to have to speak to him.
Oh my goodness.
well, he wants to get more viewers. I think he's going to
Now-
find a lot of them.
Now you're an official guest here,
Just
JB.
maybe not the ones he wants.
Oh, there you go. There's
Yeah,
another
another
one.
Navajo, just a Italian one though.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
That is very nice.
it's an
What is that?
imitation horn, but you wouldn't know it to look at it.
No, what is it? What is it made of?
I don't know, just acrylic. I think they just did a
Oh,
really
wow.
good job coloring it.
It can be similar to the ram's horn.
Yeah,
They're saying that you need an OnlyFans account there, Tom.
there you go.
That might allow you to get some more new knives. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Or better yet, have them pay you in knives. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be
Pete,
down for that.
Thrifty is rocking the Iron Maiden shirt. That's right. All of us old metalheads can rejoice.
Yeah.
Gotta
Absolutely.
stay true to who you are, man.
That's right. Yeah, I saw him. I saw him live twice in the '80s. Yeah, so good times.
Damn, I love the Osmonds.
Oh goodness.
Slim Whitman, man. Slim Whitman all the way.
Oh wow. There yeah, you're going back there. Holy smokes. Nice.
It was a different time. It was.
It was much different.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Pete liked that one. Hey, Crispy Critter. So, all right. Slip Joint Sawyer is a young metalhead. Right on. Keep it alive there, Matt. Well, when we come to the Rough Rider Reserve line, I really have to tell you that I still really like, let's see where it is here, the first one that I got, which is the 001, the Easy Open Razor. This was the first one that I got, and it is also in the blue denim. And like you said, they do come in different colorways because they've repeated this one in the brown micarta. And so each one of I only have 3 Rough Rider Reserves, and they're all in a different colorway.
Right.
So, that, and I was really picky when this one came out. I was like a lot of guys. I was thinking, oh man, I've just got to get all of them, But then I was like, well, I didn't really have the funds, and things happened, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to get the ones I want. I'm going to pick and choose. So I only have a couple of them. I'll pull up another one that this is in the brown linen micarta, but this is the Barlow. This is the 17, I believe, and this was very popular. I think almost everybody that collects any of the Rough Rider Reserve has this particular knife, and JB is showing his too.
Oh, it's a gorgeous knife without a doubt.
Absolutely, they executed this one so well. And Thrifty and I agreed. The only thing they did on this that we could even say would change, and it doesn't really affect anything, is the lanyard hole. We both would have preferred it without the lanyard hole, but
Okay.
But it doesn't affect the performance or the lines of the knife or anything. It's just a personal preference thing.
Without the lanyard hole, it stays more true to the pattern. I get that. Absolutely, I get that.
Yeah,
that's the only one I've got left out of all the Rough Rider Reserves, and they're great knives. I just think they're fantastic. But I tend to change. But I use that one, and it's the one that I like the best so far. But that new one that JB just showed, the Patriarch, is definitely coming into my collection. It's a beautiful knife.
I agree. I really like the Patriarch, and I don't have any half hawks, and that's a half hawk to me. I think that would
with a belly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a nice belly on it.
Exactly.
For sure.
Really gorgeous.
Well, that's the thing. Just like the Barlow has more of a spear blade instead of a
Mhm.
regular, clip point. So they did change the blade shape, but it's a wonderful blade shape. That's for
That's
sure.
right up my alley because I love
Yeah.
a good drop point, spear point.
Oh, I know that.
Big fat
That
spear.
blade is just absolutely perfect. They could put that on any other knife that Rough Rider sells, and I would definitely buy that. Because
Yeah.
I love that all day long.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's funny. I
Let's
was
see
talking to
here.
actually Harrison yesterday because he's making me a big fat spay blade, especially for this show, because I love the spay blade, and he's going to do me a fat one. So I can't wait for that.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic.
RJ,
Yes, sir.
I'm breaking in here. Pete's got a question. Did anyone see the new GEC? They're coming out with church glass acrylic.
I have not seen that, but that sounds like that'll be a really
I
pretty
think
knife.
I think I did. I think I would remember.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
The fact that I think I've seen it and I can't remember really doesn't sound good in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have to look on their Instagram because they probably have a picture of it there.
He says it's in church glass. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. Kind of
it does.
So it'd be like a stained glass handle. That's kind of cool. What pattern was it, Pete? Do you remember? Oh, and Tony's Ponies has a great question.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
Okay.
Well, where is it? Oh, here's a what's the most feminine knife you boys own? Let's say pretty knife. Just received my Spyderco Dragonfly tattoo.
Oh, that's a nice knife.
So does anyone have a feminine knife?
Yep.
Pretty knife. Pretty knife.
This is my pink Ganzo. It's not purple, it's pink. My pink Ganzo.
Nice.
And it is a really bright pink and not purple that it seems to be there. But just a super knife in 440C. This is the Ganzo. Wish about to put my 759M. But a beautiful knife.
I'm trying to think. Pretty knife.
Yeah, I know, because obviously beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Very.
That's what all ugly people say.
Wow.
There we go. Tom's got something. And hey, Rusty Knife Lover is here. Hope you're feeling better, Rusty. I hope we can bring some good thoughts and healing your way. So you get well soon. Go ahead, Tom.
This is a case teardrop. It's got the synthetic lavender. It's if you see the fish on there, it's out of the Ictus series.
Beautiful.
So I just think this is a great ladies' knife, single blade, very slim, very lightweight. It is a very elegant looking knife. And I believe, if I remember right, I'm going from memory, but Tony Bowes designed this pattern of knife for the movie Lincoln. So
nice.
Really?
Yeah. That's a case teardrop. And they do come in different cover materials too.
All right. Well, let's see what I'll get to you in a second, JB. Let me get Thrifty. He's got his knife ready to go.
I see it there. Well,
Yeah, just a Rough Rider pink sow belly. This is from their Premium Select series. See, they're a little harder to find than some knives, but just a really bright pink. And
that is.
It's a good looking knife, though.
Yeah,
I like
not bad. It's got some
I'd
nice
love to
inlay
get
here.
to know where you get these.
Got some nice little inlays in there, really small red
that's
triangles
really cool.
in there. Yeah, it's really nice.
Oh, are they red?
Yeah, they're red. If you can.
Oh, I like it even more now.
That is beautiful.
Matt says that goes with your eyes. Yeah. All right. Let's see what you had, JB.
Well, I was having a hard time thinking of it right. I was like, wow, pretty, and feminine. Well, I guess it doesn't get more feminine than a lady leg, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
I didn't even think of that.
And that one is
Don't
hot.
say hot.
And it's hot. Oh, it's hot. I don't know how I'm holding on to it. It's so hot. But yeah, the pink lady leg, pretty cool little knife. It's it's one of those little fun knives that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh yeah. So yeah, lady leg. That's pretty feminine.
My
truly
wife
is.
carries a lady's leg. Now, it's not pink, but she loves her little lady's leg.
Yeah.
Well, I had a lady's leg, but I gifted it to my daughter, and she loves it. So I don't have that one anymore. But I got a pretty knife I will show here in a second.
Ooh.
There you
There's
go.
another one.
That's
This
a
is
nice one.
a GEC number 56. It's like the Harlequin sort of. It looks more like a rock pattern, but a stick of rock from the seaside.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely beautifully. And to me, when you get a knife with these colors on them, or the feminine colors, it disarms the knife before people see it. When they see the colors, they're attracted to it rather than the blade.
Yes.
But that's a cracker.
Thank you, Twang Thing 68. He just became a new member of RJ's regiment. So thank you for joining the channel. I really appreciate that. So everybody that's a member, go ahead and fire off some salutes and roll the tanks for them and all that other good stuff. That'd be awesome. So thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you.
Send them over to the Navy. We'll break them in.
Never ask a Navy man about what it's like in the Army and vice versa.
Absolutely.
But here I will show a pretty knife, and I told Pete I was going to show this one just for him today, because if you watch Richter Knives and Pete's channel, Jersey Knife Guy, they both have gotten some of the new case buffalo horn knives. And I have a Sodbuster Junior that is in buffalo horn, and this is one from a while back. So this has their True Sharp stainless steel in it, but the new ones that Case has, this new Buffalo series, has buffalo horn, and they are using SV 35N for the blade steel.
Oh,
So-
Really?
Yeah, and they have a cutout. So where there's a nail nick in this one, they actually have a hole in the blade. So it's a really cool mashup of modern design on a traditional pattern. And the SV35N is a huge upgrade for a stainless steel. But I do love the mirror polish on this True Sharp, and I love how the buffalo horn looks. It's just a fantastic cover material. And that's why I love Case Sodbusters, because you get the whole handle is the handle material. So you get nice horn or nice bone or whatever, and it just looks fantastic. So I told Pete he'd see this one, and of course this has the nice brass liners and stuff, and that just offsets that back spring so nice. There's no gapping or anything. It's just a really lovely blade. But I think everybody here loves a good Sodbuster anyways. I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't admire that pattern at all.
yeah. I just wish they would do more 1095. Never mind S35.
Well, they are.
Yeah, they did some, aren't they?
Yeah. The new ones are, because their carbon steel series is 1095. So if you order any of those that say CS, you're getting a 1095 blade, which is fantastic. All right. Is that a Finch there?
Yeah, it wouldn't be me if I didn't show a Finch, but I mean, but that one's pretty darn good looking in my opinion.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That
abalone. Yeah, they did a really good job with that abalone on it. So I guess that kind of counts as pretty.
Absolutely.
The colors.
Absolutely.
I mean, abalone, to me, you know, and I don't know why, but I never really, maybe it was just the abalone that I saw. I never really got into it.
Right.
But when I got this one, there's so many colors. So many colors in it. I mean, pinks and purples and blues and greens and creams and blacks. And it's amazing, the colors in it.
That's absolutely beautiful. And twang thing, I agree. That's another nice thing about the Sodbusters is there's no bolsters. So that is a very nice thing. Oh, and thank you, Tom, about plugging the store. Yeah, I have a spring store. So if you guys are interested in any official RJ's knives merchandise, there's some shirts and tumblers and mugs and stuff like that. So you can be a part of the channel and rep your favorite channel. At least I hope somebody's favorite channel. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
Just to follow up with that, the abalone, I have to say, is it's a real gem of a material. And when it's done well and you get good abalone, the colors, this does not do it justice. The colors exactly the same, the pinks, the purples, everything. It is just, I got this one made from actually Harrison as well. Just a beautiful, really, the abalone inside it. And it does make a difference. I understand what JB's saying. There's some abalone that just does not look good.
Right.
I mean, I guess the most I've saw was, you know, it's the blues and greens. I mean, and it's still nice, but I mean, it was this one. It just had so many of them, you know. And I've had people comment about, well, there's, you know, it does have lines in it where you can see they've pieced together the abalone. I mean, I don't know, but if you could get a solid piece of abalone to look that good, I think you're. I don't know about yours, Patty. I don't know if it's a solid piece.
There's no lines in it. It's just perfect.
That's nice. That's nice.
Well,
and I've had GEC abalone, and you can see the lines in it. And I didn't even, I didn't keep it because it does put you off after a while because you notice them all the time.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Tom is ready with what is that? A pig sticker for sure.
That's a cute knife.
Now Phoenix says you got to show your most macho knives now. Here you go, my Filipino bolo. I tell you what, you watch the natives use these bolos, and they, you know.
If it wouldn't get me a channel strike, I'd start playing In the Navy by the
No, Run Through the Jungle would be more appropriate.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or Macho Man by the Village.
That is, you know, the Philippines is well known for being a blade culture.
Yes.
They took regular farm implements, hand tools, turned them into weapons. So, yeah, this is quite a knife. And like I said, you watch some of the indigenous people out in the jungle and they're using these. Oh, boy, you wouldn't want to get caught out in the jungle facing one of them guys.
Do you ever see the movies where they're sharpening them? And they down. They sit down by the river with river stones and they just do these big circular motions and they're like razors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, they used to play a game. There was a tribe that lived on Subic Naval Base. There's 300,000 acres of virgin 3-tier jungle. And they'd play a game with the Marines. They'd play capture the flag, and they'd put a flag in the middle of the Marines' camp. And at dawn, the Marines would go and check, and that flag would be gone. And they'd have how many guys out on post and watching them. Those guys are like little ghosts getting through the jungle. They're just amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, of course they have home court advantage too.
Well, that's true. And yes, they would use these for wild boar.
Yeah.
We call them the SAS over here.
Yeah.
That's true. Ghosts in the night. You wouldn't even know they were there till it's too late.
Yeah.
Well, I have some knives that I know that that JB is going to truly enjoy. Another knife I have, and this is one that that I got from JB, that he showed this last night. But the Rosecraft Blades Clinch River, because that bone is simply gorgeous on these knives, and the blade shape is not too shabby either. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other ones I wanted to show for sure because I had to, and these will be coming up for review. As you guys know, KC from Knives Fast was here, and he was so generous with me, and he let me borrow his Finch Hatfield, which of course is in red. And I know that JB loves not just Finch knives, but red Finch knives in particular. And this is such a fantastic little blade. I'm really liking having this one. And another one that he let me borrow is the 1929 in olive wood. And this is a fantastic little knife. This is really the first Finch knife that I saw that I really wanted to get a hold of. And I am so happy that I got it. And you just finished your 1929 collection, wasn't it, JB? Or...
I did. I finished. I don't know if I should say this or not.
Well, it's not bragging if you can back it up.
I finished the entire Finch knife collection.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was all of them.
Yes. Yeah. When I say I like Finch knives, I got the proof to back it up. I mean, I do.
That's
do.
right.
I love them. And so it's got a couple of prototypes too that are pretty cool. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's.
RJ, did you catch the fact that Mike Curtis gifted a membership?
I did not. I missed that, Tom.
Okay, he gifted a membership, and Randy's WSG was the recipient.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you for that.
Randy's a nice guy. He's been commenting on my channel.
Awesome.
And he's a lovely YouTube channel. He's worth going over to check him out.
Absolutely. Go check out his channel. He's a newer channel. I mean, of the newer channels that I can definitely give shout outs to is, Randy's WSG, Richter Knives, Big J's Knives, Boston Blade Reviews. There's a couple of, who am I missing, Tom?
Slip Joint Sawyer.
Slip Joint Sawyer, yeah.
Sure. Big J.
Sure.
The Kirby
Addicted to Blades 2.
Gadget Guts.
Yep. All these guys that are under 1,000, definitely go show our love. Go not just subscribe to their channel, but and do yourself a favor, because this is really what YouTube wants. Watch a couple videos, leave some thumbs up, leave a couple comments, because that's the kind of stuff that they're really looking for. And so if we engage in those channels, it also stops you from getting what happens to us, where every time it seems like I release a video, right before I do it, it's like I gain 2 subscribers and then I'll lose 2 subscribers. And it's because people will subscribe, but then they don't interact with the channel. I think YouTube kind of penalizes us for that. So
I unsubscribe from you every day, RJ.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. I know John does too, especially if I trim my beard. John's out. He's like, forget about it.
Mike just gifted another membership, and El Cap Addict was the recipient.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. That is so cool. Yep. That is absolutely wonderful.
I don't know if North Star Knife Reviews got mentioned.
No, it's another.
And JO Ventures Outdoors.
That's right. Yeah. North Star and JO Ventures Outdoors. Yeah, absolutely. And there's links for all those guys in the description box of my videos. And yep, there you go. Thrifty says, no beard, no sub.
There you go. There you go.
Tony wants us to get a Finch distributor over in Europe. So that would be something we'll have to have. That is so nice.
Yeah, Zen asked to see this one. This is that. What is it? What do they call it? Sonic carbon fiber, I believe, is what they call it.
That's very pretty.
But it's that kind of silver topo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much reminds me of a topographic map.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, and the Hatfield is a fun little knife, of course. You know, and one of the first times I showed the Hatfield, somebody was like, "Okay, there's a Hatfield. Where's the McCoy?" And all I can say is, "Just wait."
Yep, I saw some pictures on Instagram. It's
Yep.
coming, and I think a lot of people are going to really like that one too.
Oh,
Nice
no.
little
I won't spoil it, but if you
Oh,
like
yeah.
warnies, it's going to be right up your.
Oh,
your alley.
absolutely. It's a awesome, and I probably, because I love a warning, man, I might like that one a little bit more than I like this one, but shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I won't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. But yeah, so there you go, Zen. There's that one for you.
Very cool. I like that one a lot. I might have to save up my pennies and get that because that definitely looks really nice, and I'm enjoying having this Hatfield. It's a really fun knife.
And you know,
Really
I'll be perfectly honest with you. You know, I get a lot of comments about, you know, Finch knives. They're small, and you know, their price point, and they're at the top of they're basically at the top of the food chain on their price point. No doubt. And people always ask me, are they worth it? And the only answer I can give you is they're worth it to me.
right.
You know, I mean, that's the best answer I can give you. Yeah, they are to me for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lot of things. Like over here in Europe, we don't have them yet, and it would be nice to have. I wouldn't buy one unless it had one in hand, simply because the materials to the price I can't regulate in my head. But if I had one in hand, it could all change.
Sure.
And that's happened
Right.
lots of times.
Now,
Yeah.
let me look.
Oh, go ahead, JB.
I'm looking here because So can you guys, Patty, because on their website, they have sites listed in it, they're not in the UK, so that probably still kind of throws a wrench in things for you, doesn't it?
You're having to pay taxes and bring it into the country. It's just
Yeah.
it'll overprice them to way beyond. They're going to be dearer over here anyway. But once you stick in taxes and customs,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, they show France, Germany, Canada, Poland, Finland, Australia, and maybe because they are locking knives.
the flippers are frowned upon here. They're not. But if
Yeah.
they had flip joints here, they could sell a fortune.
And I know they have prototype slip joints. I know they have. I've seen them.
Yes, go ahead, Tom.
RJ, mind your manners. A young lady is in the house. Our number one fan, Katie.
I know.
Hello, Kitty.
I was going to make an announcement after JB was finished with his topic there, but
Okay.
for Katie, and also I didn't mention this before the show. I should have. I did receive everybody's packet. The only one that I don't have is from Singing Toad, but his stuff was coming from Canada, so it's a couple weeks away. But I went ahead and I boxed everything up together, and I will get that to Katie tomorrow. And so she will be getting everything, and I'll still have to get her some stickers from Singing Toad once that arrives. But Katie, we got everything coming your way, and I think you're gonna have a good time with your little care package that we have going on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll talk to her dad. Maybe he'll let me film it. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Oh, I didn't get your stickers yet, Pete, either. So those will probably be coming this week, and I'll get them to her when they show up. So don't worry. We'll make sure she gets the stickers you sent, Pete. So yep, Katie's excited about that, and that's going to be awesome. So for those of you that may have missed who Katie is I work with Ken Harmon. He's here in the chat. He's a wonderful guy. His daughter is 14 years old, and this is her favorite show on Sunday. She, for whatever reason, loves to watch us knife guys, and she's a budding knife designer herself. I've been seeing pictures of the drawings of the knives that she's making. Everybody is really excited about that, and we're definitely encouraging you to follow in Swag's footsteps and become a knife designer. And we hope
that would be awesome.
Becomes awesome. Yeah, because you
that would
actually
be
have met Swag, right, JB? You've actually met her at Blade Show and stuff.
Oh, Swags? Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's cool. So there's definitely room for you in the industry if you're. And Ken says he's ready for his close-up. So there we go. I guess we may have to film something tomorrow.
There you go.
Good. So watch for that on my channel. That'll be coming up this week. I'll post it as soon as we can get it all done.
That's great. Great to see you, Katie. You keep going, girl.
Absolutely. All right, let's see what John's got. He's got a knife that's queued up there.
Yeah, so I got this initially. I probably was a little harsh on it in my review. It's one of those types of things where sometimes you regret giving a review on your first impressions because they can change. And I think this one is a little different because of the blade being a little short into the chamber. But I think after hearing the comments and everything and understanding the knife a little better, that it was designed to be more of a whittler. So the handle's supposed to be a little larger than the blade in ratio, in terms of the ratio. So that was really my only complaint. And this knife's really nice. Got the really good snap on this. I think North Star was saying earlier that he may have been having some problems with some of the Rough Rider Reserve fit and finish. I just wanted to respond to that and say I haven't had any problems with it. So I'd be interested to see, like the knife that you have that was having a problem. Now I know that a lot of the wider knives are not everyone's favorite. I'm more of a collector of the single bladed ones. They're more to my liking. Yeah. And I kind of stick to the single bladed ones, but I just wanted to kind of point out that this knife was kind of better than I first gave it credit for. So again, I'm fallible and sometimes opinions change. So
very much so.
On the earlier Rough Rider Reserves, I saw a tiny bit of gapping, nothing major, just very, very little bit. But these recent ones, I don't know. I don't think they changed anything up as far as like OEM or anything like that. I just think the OEM's gotten better. That's just my take on it. But yeah, and what I did see, like I said, was very minute. It really was, so, but like I said, I've got, what have I got? Like 5 of them laying here. Here's one that's a little bit earlier, not too early, but the clasper. This one is still, you're talking kind of that Navajo style that kind of falls right in that as well. But there's not a stitch of gapping on this thing.
Yeah.
It's very, very well done. And man, this one just fits in my hand so nice.
That one always reminded me of like the large folding hunter.
Absolutely. Sure.
In the center.
Yeah, I'm not a harsh reviewer anyway. I don't tend to pick a lot of faults on knives. I would rather look for the good points. But I've had every one of the single blade Rough Rider Reserve, and I can't find anything wrong with them. They're absolutely smashing. And I know they're 60 quid, but they're worth every penny.
Yep. All right. Well, go ahead, Tom. Let's go ahead and get your knife. You're ready to go.
Well, Katie liked TK's knife because of the bombshell shield on it. Looked like a fish. So here's one with an actual fish on it. This is a case, and this is the copperhead.
Yep, that's
and
nice
the fish symbol on there's Ictus in Greek, the Christian symbol. So there's a whole series of these knives, Katie, if you like the fish.
There you go.
Oh, Daddy's gonna love you.
And
anything I can do to feed you
show those lilac knives, Tom, you need to put your Easter bonnet back on.
If you say so.
Well,
And real quick, I wanted to show also with the Rough Rider Reserves, I only have one that's a multi-blade, and that is this one, the number 5, the Hedgehog. And I really liked this one because I liked both of the blades, and it's that equal end cigar pattern. And you have two wonderful, more of a traditional Wharncliffe on here, and you got this clipped blade on here. Just a fantastic knife. But I was holding it up to the single blade ones, and like here is the Barlow again. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but really the width of it is not very much bigger than that. So I think sometimes on some of these they get a bum rap. I think they're 3-bladed ones, and especially like that the Whittler that they had, that those were really large and wide. I think when they get to 3 blades, it's probably a lot worse. But I think the 2-blade ones are not too bad. But of course, like everything else, it just depends on the model that you have. Because that was one of the big problems that people didn't like about them. But the reason they were wider is because every blade has its own set of bearings. So they didn't really have anything that was sharing, a bearing surface inside. So the construction of them just lended itself to be a little bit wider. So anyways, that's all I had on that.
Yeah, I think the thing is that really does the slip joint need bearings would be my question to that. Does a slip joint?
I get what they were doing. Andy was designing a lot of those. They were trying to take traditional patterns, update them with different steels, update them with different blade shapes than you'd get in a traditional, really kind of stand it on its head and kind of throw some new twists on an old dog, if you can think of it that way. That I think that's kind of what their whole thing was. But I do have a macho knife, and I got to show my macho knife. You guys saw this on Friday, and this is the gift that I got from the Kirby Creek outfit, and that's that 112 Ranger Sport. And I don't know, for an Army guy, black and green is pretty macho, so it got my juices going. I was like, this is a macho knife right here.
Well, you know what? The green color is just right for the Army, because when we get them on the ship, as soon as they take off the last line and we say underway, they are green as can be. They're hanging over the side.
That's right. We're all landlubbers, and we're proud of it. Because we are not ready to go into that dark night and that big black ocean at night. It's scary. So
that's why I was in a submarine, so I didn't have to see any of that.
Exactly.
We'd get the new ensigns checking on board, and I'd have to sign them up for their SGLI if they weren't signed up, their life insurance. And at the time, I think it was $250,000. So a lot of them, they were young and single and bulletproof, so they'd sign up for half of what they were eligible for. I says, and it was only a few bucks a month. I says, you know what? I'll pay you the other half, and we'll get you the full coverage, and I'll just pay the other half of your insurance. And they're like, well, why would you do that? And I just say, well, sir, it gets awful dark out at sea at night.
It sure does. But that was, I got to tell you, that was the two reasons I did not want to become a sailor. Was number one, I'm not a big fan of it being in the complete dark with nothing out there at all, especially on a moonless night. But also in the daytime, there are no trees on a ship, so there's not a lot of shade. So
there's a more important reason. Would you kiss Tom in the daylight?
No, and I wouldn't kiss him at night either.
At nighttime, he's beautiful.
I got to tell you though, in 90, what was that, 98, 99, when was it? We were crossing the Atlantic on the Minesweep, and that's the year that comet came around. And so for about 3 weeks, we'd step out on the bridge wing at night, and that thing was just so bright and so beautiful, and it was like it was following us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, some of the views you see at night are just, they're breathtaking.
Yeah.
That is true.
Especially when we got out into the Pacific, because we didn't get there that often. But once we got out in the Pacific, at nighttime when we were out at sea, we all used to sleep in the upper deck just to watch the stars. It was amazing. And when you get the electrical storms above you, honestly, a picture house was nothing compared to it.
Yeah.
I have to say one of the coolest things I ever saw out to sea was we were actually in the English Channel, and we were transiting on the surface, and I had lookout watch. I'm up in the bridge of the submarine on lookout watch, and the bioluminescence as that stream moved through the water, that was I mean, you kind of feel like you're on a little bit of a trip, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that was just, I mean, just beautiful. Dead night, stars out, and that bioluminescent. Oh man,
we'd stand out on the fantail of the ship at night and watch that turn up.
Yeah,
and we call it the sailor's fireplace, because it's like watching a fire. You can't take your eyes away from it.
Oh, I was no good as a lookout.
No,
that going on, not at all. But it was gorgeous.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I miss some of the simple things. It's like sitting down at the aft end on a bollard. I was on frigates. You know, we have 2 bollards at the back of our aft end. We'd sit there with a mug of tea at night, having a cigarette. It was heaven.
Yeah,
heaven. Simple little pleasure.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Well, let's see what you got there, John. You see you're queued up.
Yeah, this is off-grid Cayman XL. This is one of my more macho knives.
I love that.
I like that one a lot. Very aggressive blade style on it. See if we can get this stupid camera to zoom out. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, just forgive the light for a minute. But there you go. Very aggressive blade shape.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Kind of tactical style with this crazy clip point blade. That's one heck of a clip.
Yes, it is. I really like off-grid knives. They've got some really cool designs. Overbuilt. They're all way overbuilt. I love it. It's just something that is too cool to me. There you go.
Yeah, they're just super sharp too.
Yes.
So, yeah, check out Off-Grid Knives if you haven't. They've got some pretty cool stuff, and they're really affordable, really, for what you're getting.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. Hey, Doomsday Scouts, good to see you. Yeah, he says he can't swim, so he stayed in the Army, and I don't blame you. Yeah. I'll take my chances on land, because if something happens way out at sea, I know I'm not making it back.
Another reason I went into submarines.
Because you can hold your breath a long time?
No, if something goes wrong, you just really don't have to worry about it. It'll take care of itself.
I suppose that's true. Go ahead, Stephen. I see you have something going on.
I'm the old cold steel. That's what I got. Says as aggressive as I get.
There you go.
The American Law, man. I think it's one of the best knives out there. Full stop. It's just so nice, and the forward choil is perfect.
Yes.
Nice blade stock, but not super thin or thick, I should say. Just an all-round smashing knife.
Yeah, that
the test of time.
Yes, that's a fantastic one. Well, I have another black and green knife here that is one of my favorites, one I keep showing, one I'm still not tired of carrying or using, and that is this Petrified Fish Victor. Love this. Love the blade. Hold on, I got call coming in. Okay, I'm going to have to take this, guys. So we'll come back to this. Talk
Yep,
amongst
no problem.
yourselves here for a
We
second.
will. So, Doomsday Scout says, I'm 6'2". I couldn't have been on a sub if I wanted to, but you could have joined the Coast Guard. Because you see, I first went to the Coast Guard recruiter, but I'm only 5'11" and a half. You got to be at least 6 foot tall in the Coast Guard, just in case your ship sinks, you can walk ashore.
Why did I know something like that was coming?
Well, I have to say, my young grandson, who's now a submariner, he's had his first voyage on a submarine a couple of weeks ago. He's the submarine he's joined. He's in the off watch at the minute, so they let him go with the other watch for a couple of weeks just to give him his first trip out. And I have to say, he loved it. So he's really in his element. I have to say, he's not the cleverest of young lads, but he worked really hard to get into the submarines. I have to say, fair play to him. And he's loving it. And his wage packet is filthy. It's disgusting how much money he's getting.
Yeah. My brother was in the subs, Nuke, Nuke. So I actually do a hat tip to you submariners there. That's a tough existence. So
we give one another crap, but it's all out of respect more than anything, because I tell you what, you ground pounders, no thanks. Have at it.
No thanks. No thanks. I always had a dry place to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Always had 3 meals a day. They weren't always warm, but most always were warm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
tell you, we used to one of the ships I was on, we used to embark Marines every now and then, and embark a whole bunch of them. So we'd embark them on board, pull them out of Korea, and they've been out in the mud and the cold and that for a month or two. So we'd feed them, beanie weenies and sliders and that, and they were just loving it, just having a hot meal. So, of course, the ship would get paid per diem for feeding the Marines. So, and then we'd disembark them, and then we'd eat surf and turf for a month or so.
Well, it's like we used to say in the Army: every day a challenge, every meal an adventure.
Yeah.
There you go, TK. TK's just kicking back and glad we did it, so he didn't have to.
There you go. There you go.
I would get trench fingers if I was a soldier. I'd never be above the parapet.
I thought that was a common condition over in the islands there in the UK. Well, I have one more macho knife, which I know that JB is going to agree with this one, and he's going to like that one. And that is the Mohawk from Rosecraft Blades. This is another beast of a knife, just absolutely built like a tank, and just a whole lot of fun to carry, a whole lot of fun to use. And I love that harpoon shape on the blade is just fantastic. This is just an awesome knife. Full grip, just a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Talk about any particular Rosecraft blades there, JB?
I was going to throw this one up real quick to see if this counts as macho or masculine.
Oh, yeah.
I've always said, Tantos aren't my favorite blade shape, but I got to tell you what, if I'm ever in a pickle and I need some help, this one's going to be one that I'm going to have on me because it's a beast.
Oh, yeah.
That Recon one and that Tanto blade, oh, my goodness.
That's for taking off the bonnet of a car.
Something, man. I'm telling you what.
That's the nice thing about a cold steel knife, Stephen, is that if a car hood ever attacks, you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I said, talk about Rosecraft. I said that. Remember what I said about that little chonk?
Yes.
I get that thing in hand, man. It does. It makes me want to stab a tank, man. It's just like it does. And nothing. That's not mudslinging against the Army. But we have an announcement. What's up?
I don't know. Let's bring Tom up. We got a breaking announcement here on
RJ
RJ's
Crispy.
Lives. We got some RJ's
Crispy
news.
Critter says granddaughter wants to thank you for showing the case Sodbuster Jr. in 35 VN. She's getting it for Easter.
I saw that,
Whoa.
and I thought that was very exciting news. That was
Nice.
fantastic.
That's worth doing a video on its own and giving up 3 or 4 hours of your time for. That is just amazing. I love that.
Yep.
You're right, Doomsday Scout. A DD-214 gives you a lot of room to rip on other vets. That's for sure. You have to have your membership card, and that's it.
Yes, sir.
It's funny. I've been out way much longer than I ever done in the Navy, but you see, when you put yourself into that group of people again, it's like you were still in the mob.
Oh, yeah.
It never changes.
No.
The banter and sarcasm is the best form of conversation.
Oh yes, and we all love it. Yeah, we all love it. And there's nothing. I think it's just because of the common ground that we all have, and no matter what service you were in, we all have very similar experiences. With training and going on deployments and going on exercises and stuff. We all do it. We all do it in a slightly different way, but so much of it is still a common thing amongst all the services, especially when we complain about things like paperwork and hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
Yep, absolutely. It gets to be quite a chore, but we love it, and we all like to rib each other, but we're all, when it comes right down to it, we're all one team and one fight. And Matt only talks in sarcasm, which is fantastic.
Thrifty says he was in the burger flipper force.
Well, somebody has to be.
Oh, well, now that's probably the better force to be in. Nobody shoots at you for a burger.
That's right.
That's true. And at Burger King, you can get it your way, but not so much in the military.
Right. Absolutely. And I bet you didn't have to do many push-ups while you were doing that either.
No. And that's my cat that's singing Tony. It's not about eating. He is upset because the wife is in the other room, and he's one of the cats we don't let into our bedroom because although he's fun, he doesn't play well with others, and he tends to rip stuff up. So he's upset that he can't go in the locked door.
Yeah, my wife's like that too.
Yeah. So fortunately, hi, hon. She is watching us in the other room, and for some reason she enjoys watching this show too. I don't know why, but. Oh boy. Okay.
Oh,
so,
here. I got a new knife this week that's going to please you old fuddy-duddies over there. Look what I got. It's not a buck, Tom, but it's the closest I've come to getting another buck. Look at this one.
Oh, yeah?
I got a puma.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
That is nice.
It's just in like new condition now. It came a bit rough, but by gosh, it is beautiful now. Watch this. Look at that drop.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that? It is just. It's an unusual. It's probably not a knife I would carry. Thank you, sweetheart. My wife
look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. I got to get my bell.
It's just a little bit smaller than the Buck 110, but bigger than the Buck 112. But I have to say, it's a lovely knife. I'd probably not carry it. It's not my sort of knife to carry, but
right.
I just wanted to get it because it's another country that makes knives. I think Puma were Germany, weren't they?
I'm sorry.
Puma knives. I think they're Germany.
I think so.
German, yes.
I think so.
Well, yeah, it must be because it says, what's it say? I need this. I need the big spec. It says the 465 Puma Backpacker, new stainless, super keen cutting steel, handmade in Germany.
Yep.
Yep.
And they were all handmade. So
Yes. Puma knives are wonderful.
I'm not sure what sort of steel that is. It's probably 420. But yeah, nice. That's a change for me.
Yeah, that's sweet. I have a knife that I want to show because I thought you might show that one. I hope you find what you're looking for there, Tom.
I was checking out Patty's knife.
Well, you might need that to see this one. This is a Rough Rider, but the clip point is very similar. These small brass lockback, and this reminds me of the Puma knife blade shape. Just a wonderful little knife. This is a great fifth pocket carry. So, and I love the way that the brass takes on a patina. So it's really cool. And we'll take a look at what you got there, Thrifty. Is that a old timer or is that a case?
This is a case.
Nice.
So this was a used knife I picked up on eBay for under $40, if you'd believe it.
Wow.
And it didn't look like this when I got it, I can promise you. So I did a cleanup video, so you guys can look forward to seeing that here in the coming days. But it was in pretty rough shape. I've still got a little more work to do on it. It's missing like about 1/32 of the clip or the point there. So I need to grind that and fix the blade a little more. But yeah, it's come a long way so far, and came with the sheath, and pretty nice little sheath. Got it shined up. So looking forward to using this as a user, and then I don't have to carry my Buck 110 unless I absolutely want to.
Right.
I can beat on this guy instead. So
that's a nice knife there, TK.
That is. I don't have either. Now, is that one the Hammerhead model?
Yeah, this is the Hammerhead. This is from 1989. I figured that out from the tank stamp. And they didn't have the etching on the blade back then. Now they put that big old Hammerhead etch on there of the shark.
Yes.
And I guess if you like that sort of thing, that's fine. But I think I prefer it without it. So,
well, I'm a big Lloyd Bridges fan, so I think I'll go with that because, as you know, Lloyd Bridges is muy macho.
Muy macho, yeah.
If you guys remember that reference.
That's my Freedom Year, 1989.
Was that from Airplane? What was that from?
That was a Saturday Night Live skit with Bill Murray. It was they were having a Spanish game show of ¿Quién es muy macho? And the answer for everything was Lloyd Bridges.
Right. Okay.
But that was when it was still fun to watch SNL.
Yeah, it's not so good anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Patty, I rang the bell. Mrs. Knife Delight still hasn't brought my coffee. I don't know how long I gotta wait.
She never showed up, huh?
Hey, Tom. Sorry to say it's the wrong bell you're ringing. And you said you were a sailor.
I think Tom's going to get his bell rung if he keeps ringing that bell.
Probably so.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So who's next? Who's got something to throw up on screen? I'm sure we got somebody's waiting there with a knife in hand.
Well, you asked about Rosecraft earlier, and what do you guys think of this one?
I like that one. That's
nice.
Castoria. I think that's or Castoria. I'm not sure.
When I was talking to Andy in Blade Show, Texas, he always went Castoria. That's how he always said it. So for some reason, every time I say it, I'm like, wait a minute. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really liking it. There's one tiny little thing is, you have the area for the clip, so you can. Right. I really wish they would have put even a black spacer in there. I think that would have really completed it, given it just a little bit cleaner look. But overall, I really and it's a good sized knife. Holy smoke!
It is, and that
That-
blade shape really reminds me of the Jack Wolf knives. Some of their
That's
spear
fair.
point designs.
Yeah. Yep.
that meant to be like a modern take on a Barlow?
Yeah. It's not drop shutty, as you can see. Now, some of the ones they had at the show were, but it's just kind of it is kind of a modern take on a Barlow, but it's a button lock.
Okay.
So, and that's just really, it's not meant to be anything more than pretty much exactly what it is. And when I first opened it, I was like, okay, I was a little bit, all right, what are we trying to be? Of course, talking to Andy and stuff, it's just meant to be a button lock flipper, and it's not intended to be a dropper, from what I gathered from him.
Oh, Knife Spot says that Little Metal Foxes is making a silver fill gap for their Castoria.
There you go.
So
There you go.
that's going to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that would be lovely, about 4 inches handle length and no clip on it.
Yeah.
Now that's a
I think that would be a
reference
lovely
there, John.
pocket knife.
So I am liking it. Like it's a large.
Yeah.
I mean, I forget what is it overall. I mean, you're talking 8 1/4.
Yeah, that's a big knife, but I like it. I think it's really cool. I have to tell you, the new Rosecraft blades that are coming out are very interesting to me, especially the surgeon's knife. I don't know if you have one of those or not. Yes. Yeah, show that one out. That one's really interesting to me. I like that one a lot.
It's a great little straight line knife. And then again, talking to Andy, because I noticed that the pull on this one it's light. I'd say it's probably a 4. And I was talking to him about that too. And he's like, well, it's a surgeon's knife, right? And obviously in this day and age, we probably wouldn't do a whole lot of surgery with one of these, hopefully. But he's like, he tried to stay true to the fact that a surgeon, if he's actually doing surgery with one of these, his hands are going to probably be bloody. And with that little blade, you don't want a big, heavy back spring because your hands are going to be slippery. I'm like, okay, I can buy that. I mean, think what you will, but okay, I'm in it. And then you got this nice little, this side. You got this nice little warny blade on it too.
Yes, I do. I think that's what drew me to it was having the warny blade on there instead of the spatula.
Yeah.
But, just because it's unique and different. But I disagree with his philosophy in that I think it has a light pull, because I don't think doctors' knives are really known for having a stiff pull. But I don't think anybody used those for surgery, because I just remember the Civil War pictures, and all those guys had saws.
Wow.
They were lopping off
That's true,
limbs
too.
left and right. That's a pretty delicate knife for a surgery. And I think back then they were more into gross motor movements, not fine motor movements.
Right.
But that's just my own opinion. I don't know. I wasn't there. But
Yes, Thrifty. I would definitely attack a steak with this.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a definite steak knife right there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
For sure. But I mean, if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures of the newer Rosecrafts coming out. Holy smokes, man. They've got some beautiful knives on the way.
I agree. Definitely keep an eye on that. And if you guys want to see those, if you look at their either their Facebook page or their Instagram page, they do have pictures of all the stuff that's coming out. Or if you sign up for their newsletter on their website, you will see all of those, and that's pretty good. So there you go. We got Civil War Tom in the house.
Yep. I thought I heard someone call for a Civil War surgeon, so here I am.
We did.
So this is a replica, excuse me, of a Union cutlery knife, Union Cutlery Company. They do have knives like this that were passed down from Civil War soldiers. So this is a pretty exact replica of what this single-bladed jackknife that Union made. Started making them in the 1850s.
I love that.
Yeah, no kidding. I like that a lot.
That's very much like the German 3-rivet knife. It's a big, long knife.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So as you can see, the fit and finish is not good on it. And that was done intentional because back then they were just pumping these out by the thousands or tens of thousands, selling them to the soldiers. So, yeah.
Well, let's be honest, you go back in time and the Barlow knife was only made because they wanted that big bolster because the materials they were making the knife with was terrible. So they needed a bigger bolster to give it strength. And that's like knives throughout the series or throughout the years have always been made for purposes. And the Barlow was made because it was cheap materials. You could put it together and you had a bit of strength in the knife. So
yeah, that's true. And I just want to point out that although Tom was a sailor, that when he really does want to play dress up, he goes to the Army. So I don't know what that says about him. But,
well, he had a pink hat.
The hypocrisy is strong in this one.
Yeah, I can go back in time and play and say there's a good reason I made the decision I did.
So you're the guy that invented that march of GI beans and GI gravy. Gee, I wished I'd joined the Navy.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Big J's got to take off. He says, everyone have a great Sunday. So thanks for joining us there, Big J.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Terrell says that Tom shared that, and it's special to me because I had an uncle who died in Andersonville prison camp who may have carried one of those. So he was able to order 2, and his son did as well. Oh, very interesting story. But yeah, sorry about your uncle because Andersonville, man, that was horrible.
Well, it's the most infamous, but none of them were pleasant. None of them.
No.
On either side, they were horrible, just horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, and then you end up in Iowa. That's true, Zen. Then you end up in Iowa.
This is an insider joke. I have no idea what they're talking about, by the way.
You haven't been to Iowa, Patty.
Well, it goes like this, Patty. Nobody knows where Iowa is for one. So
it must be on the inside because I've been around the outside.
You're out there on the East Coast, and they say, "Where are you from?" They say, "Iowa," and they say, "Oh, Ohio." No, Iowa.
Right.
Oh, Idaho, where they make the potato. No, I'm from Iowa. Where's that? Is it near Chicago? Yeah. Oh,
just say yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Now we do have a corn husker on the Zoom here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
Iowans love Nebraska. You know, we get to grow the corn, and we got the huskers out west of us to husk it for us. So
yeah.
There you go.
Well, didn't you come from a town of like 20 people or something like that? Is that what you said?
Me?
Yeah, your town was super, super small, was it?
Oh, I think now.
Now.
And I think the sign now that I think the sign says like 200. I think when I was going to high school and growing up, I think it said like 350. I still think it was lying, but
yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's cats and dogs included.
Yeah. Something. But it's funny because right down the road, about 6 miles away, there's a little town called Monowai, and it is a town of 1.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that was the lady on that video, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of stuff done on Elsie. Her name is Elsie. She is absolutely awesome. She's the mayor, the tax collector, the well, the bar owner, she's the only business there's 2 buildings there that are really habitable. It's her house and the bar. But they've owned that bar forever. You know, that was their business way back when, and she's kept it going. And it's just, you know, every time I go back home, I have to go there and I have to get a cheeseburger and I have to get a Dr. Pepper, because that's what me and my friend Mike did so many times after school. You got to go home and you got to get an Elsie burger. It's just one of those things.
Isn't that lovely?
Yep, that's awesome.
North Star Knife Reviews put out Nebraska is an old Indian word meaning I wished I lived in Iowa. But JB, I mean, all across the Midwest, there's towns like that. I mean,
Absolutely.
Mine's a little bigger than what you're talking about, but it's still a small town, and it's just the whole Midwest is dotted with them little towns.
Well, and the unfortunate part about it is they're dying.
They are.
That's the unfortunate part about it is history. You know, there's pieces of history there, like just north of our town. Lewis and Clark, Lewis wrote about it in his journal. There's a hill called Old Baldy, and that's what he called it. But what really amazed them were the prairie dogs.
Yeah.
That's what really got interested them so much was there was a huge prairie dog town out there.
Sure.
And that's just one of those things. But yeah, those little towns are, I mean, because there's nothing to keep people there.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
not
there used to
anymore.
be 4 or 5 families living on every section of land farming.
Sure.
And each family had anywhere from 5 to 8 to 9 kids.
Absolutely.
Well, now you have one farmer every mile or 2 miles, and they have 1 or 2 kids.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the schools are drying up.
Yep.
Absolutely. And the kids that do grow up and graduate here, the only opportunities are in the big cities. So that they take off.
Well, I'm living proof right here. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really care to be a farmer.
Yeah.
So
I didn't either.
Yeah, even in Ireland, that's a problem because we were full of little small towns and villages, but they shrunk rather than expand. They shrunk, and now, like I went to see where my grandmother was, or my grandmother was from. She was from Donegal, and I went up to see where she was from. And my dad said, "Look, it's just one street. If you don't keep your eyes open, you'll just drive straight through it and you'll miss it. It's like a row of houses in the front and a row of houses behind them, and that's it. It's about 200 yards long." When I went to visit it, we had a motorhome at the time. We took the motorhome up to see it. It literally was exactly the same, and the only thing that was different was the amount of houses that weren't occupied. There was so few. The old garage was still there with the old front to it and the old signs. And it's just pitiful when you see just what they were like.
Yeah.
I mean, we got this little town, not far away, 10 miles away, probably less than 200 population now. But I mean, 70, 80 years ago, they had an opera house, they had gas stations, they had 2 or 3 restaurants. There were 7 passenger trains a day stopped there.
yeah.
I mean, these were booming towns. And, you know, 1 or 2 hardware stores, and now there's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
just
Absolutely.
and a lot of them here in the Midwest, the only thing left is the elevator.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only business there is the elevator. So
The
My-
world.
Oh, go ahead.
My little town they actually just went, the community got together. It's the only movie theater within, I think it's probably about 90 miles.
probably, yeah.
And the community really did an excellent job of coming together and raising the funds. I think they raised about $250,000 to renovate this theater. I mean, it's all modern now on the inside. We'll say on the inside, still basically an old Quonset hut.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the building is. But so, I mean, there's definitely pride in those small towns without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you want simple living, it's great.
Yeah.
100%.
Affordable.
you're just gonna have to travel if you want anything. That's pretty much the deal.
Wouldn't you love to go to one of the old shops and have a hoke around the old shops for the old knives that they used to sell in the store?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There must be shops there with the old hang up, the clip off knives that you used to play. It must be.
Right.
There are not many of those left, Patty, because the big box stores like Menards and Walmart have put them all out of business. There's
none where I live.
Every now and then you can find one, but they're few and far between now.
There's none. All the wee small shops that used to sell the novelty knives. I live in a seaside town, and they used to sell the novelty knives and pens and all that with Bangor on it in the wee seaside town. You couldn't get them now. Nobody's allowed to sell knives.
Man, we used to have a little variety store in town. I'd go get my 22 shells, my sunflower seeds, and my comic books, and be absolutely 100% happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember when a Kmart opened up about 60 miles away. We just thought that was the greatest thing in the world. The old blue light special.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you're right.
Sure.
Every little town had a 5 and dime store.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
14, 15 years old, you went in and bought 100 rounds of 22 shells. And nobody even asked. I mean,
yeah.
You could buy a knife. You could. Yeah.
Imagine doing that today.
You can't.
Right. Well, imagine doing that today where you can even find a place where you could buy some ammo, buy a knife, get a T-shirt and a hat, and then still sit down at the counter and have a milkshake.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget the candy counter too.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Woolworths, and our Woolworths, they turned it into an antique mall, and they still have their little counter there, but it's been closed for renovations here for about a year. But that's where I would go and look for older knives and stuff. Found some really good deals in there. But
Subjoint Sawyer has a question. Panel, while we're on the topic of old towns, what's the oldest knives that you have? Well, I will try to dig mine out.
Yeah, we'll see. El Cap Addict. He's looks like he's taken off. I don't know honestly which one is the oldest. I mean, I have some antique knives or knives I bought at the antique store, but I don't know exactly their age. I have some that I guess that are dated where the tank stamps could be made between the 50s and the 60s. I think that would probably be the oldest ones I have. Did you have one there, Stephen? Are you ready to show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you've all seen this before. This is from the 1800s. This is a little quill knife. Beautiful. This would have been stag at one stage, but it's so smooth and skinny now. You could hardly tell it was made of stag. It's so smooth. But it actually has a little French long pull just up here and a swedge at the top for such a tiny little blade. And this was the exact size it was. Beautiful little knife from the 1800s.
Do you think in France they call that an English pull? I'm asking for a friend.
Now I know you're lying.
Well, Tom had something to show there too.
Well, I guess this is the oldest one where I know I can verify the age on it. This is a W.H. Morley and Sons. It's a sleeve board whittler, and I know it's before 1927. They went out of business in 1927, so it could be anywhere from the early 1900s up till 1927. Just a fantastic knife.
Okay, Rusty, I see you've got to go. Thanks for stopping in, pal. And I really do hope that I know you say you're getting much better, but I'm praying for a full recovery for you, and just we're all pulling for you, Rusty.
Yes, Rusty, get better.
I'm glad you're doing better.
Get better.
Absolutely.
Okay. Did anybody else have an oldie but a goodie they wanted to share?
As far as old knives, wow, I really don't. I really don't.
I got far too many.
Well, while we're speaking about people getting better, definitely if you guys can, if you're the praying type, send some prayers down towards Mississippi for the people that were affected by that horrible tornado
very
that
much
went
so.
through there that just ripped that place apart. Lots of people are hurting over that.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
definitely keep them in your thoughts and stuff. The EDC den, Sean, he says, "Hey Tom, can you show the shield on that knife?"
I sure can. Let me get it
Let's
out here real quick.
let's bring you back up to full screen and
Okay, this is what's interesting about this shield is it almost looks like it's a piece of aluminum foil or a sticker type thing that they put on and then laminated over it. Do you see? So
Okay.
oh yeah,
that's very interesting. But in the right light, the effervescence, if you want to see it, the changing of the color for that mother of pearl,
yeah.
it turns from a yellowish to a pinkish.
Mm-hmm.
And for a knife that's, right at or a little older than 100 years old, it's just in beautiful shape.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's the shield on it. But it's paper thin. There's a better angle at it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty neat.
Randy says what we call old, he'd call modern. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that, Byron. The news said it was a 100 miles plus swath of damage that tornadoes did through Mississippi. Definitely no bueno. That's no good at all.
No.
I watched it last night in the news here, and this morning again, and the pictures were just horrendous.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. So I prayed then. I'll pray again, but then I prayed because it was just, I couldn't believe the damage. I mean, there was cars, houses flattened with the cars on top of them.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Scary stuff.
Tornadoes are wicked things.
The craziest. The craziest.
You need nuclear weapons when natural disasters can do that to a state or whatever. I don't know how long. It seemed like a long while it went on for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't. I mean, if you've never experienced one or stuff, it's.
No.
But I cannot. The force inside something like that to be able to pick an 18-wheeler up and lay it on top of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they say, like straw, straw driven into flagpoles, driven into trees. It's not a joke.
No,
Right.
they're not.
Not a joke. I don't know how in the world. I don't know. I don't understand the physics behind how that's even possible. But it happens. I mean, I've seen it, and it's just like, wow.
The other thing is, you think of so many people that are displaced because of it, because it just wrecked so many properties, businesses, and I'm sure down there getting insurance for them must be nearly impossible because you've that threat all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
And just people's lives. You can imagine your whole life just being blown away. It's like the story of the three bear. The wolves. Sorry, to take your house away in one breath and it's gone. Yeah. How do you recover from that? It's very, especially for young kids, and it just to me, it's just oh.
Yeah, we were talking about small towns, and of course, a tornado can just completely obliterate one of these small towns. I mean,
absolutely.
Like nothing left standing.
Has on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was looking at last night. Just desolate. The trees were stripped bare. And you just had the thicker branches left. Everything was just blown off them. And as you say, the wind it's going to take to do that is.
It's truly terrifying. It really is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's that's the whole thing, with these kind of disasters like that is there's no real thing. You just hope you have enough warning that you can get out.
Yeah.
To get away from the path of the destruction.
Yep.
because it's just so devastating. But speaking of the Midwest, real quick, especially when we talk about how it's changed, I used to go for training at my old company a lot, and they were based out of Dayton, Ohio. And, you would look at the history and stuff in that Dayton area, and 100 years ago, that was the center of the nation. I mean, that's, the birth of aviation is there. You have car factories there. You have all this industrial stuff, and now it's all gone, in that 100-year period. And so a place that was, robust and just bustling with, new industry and stuff is now just a ghost of its former self. And that's kind of the story of the whole Midwest as technology has changed so many things. So many things are not so labor intensive, and you don't need the people to do that kind of work, but there's not really anything that's happened to replace that work. So it makes it really hard for the people that are left in those situations. Hey, Bobo, glad to see you're here. So I don't know, but that's just something that I've always thought about, because like I said, when you look at all the stuff and you look at the museums and everything, it's just kind of crazy how things have shifted out to the coasts, and that's kind of how America has gone. But definitely farms are not like they were, and neither is the industries that were there.
No.
So please hit the like button if you haven't. Gently massage it on your way in, your way out, or slap it like it owes you money. It don't matter to me. We can take it any way you like to leave it. Okay, so enough on that stuff. Anybody else got a knife to show? Hey, Knives Fast is there. Hi, Casey.
Oh,
it really makes you to rethink your thought process when we complain about a gap on a 17-pound Rough Rider. It just takes that right out of your system.
We're way too picky.
Well, that's what I say about this old replica knife. I mean, if you look at it close, there's gaps. It's rough. It's kind of rough there. Kind of hurts if you pull across there. But you know what? This is what they carried. Then it got them through a war.
Yeah,
it might have even been rougher than that.
So
the original ones were probably rougher than that.
Then they could have been, yeah. So
yeah.
The springs don't line up exactly. So it's rough here. You could file them down, make them a little smoother. But this is what they carried. Right.
And even a more modern knife like my electrician's knife, the Exolite knife that JB is familiar with as well. You have the back springs are both completely uneven. It's not working. The knife works fine, but I mean, it's not a collector grade knife. It was never intended to be. Right. It was just a work knife, and no one ever expected when they built it that anybody would collect those or want to have a collection of them. It was kind of, just kind of crazy how industry is too. Byron has a great comment though. If anyone is traveling through Dayton, Ohio, yes, do stop and see the Air Force National Museum. That is just absolutely fantastic. I've been there a couple of times, and yes, absolutely worth going to see if you guys are there. Yeah, you're right, North Star. People putting down inexpensive knives with a few cosmetic flaws, and your grandparents would have been thrilled with how good they are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you got there, Stephen.
And this is going to bring it right up to the present day. I buy these knives. They call it a tomahawk. They haven't even got the name right. A lamb's foot. It's a ram's foot. And these cost £6 in the garage down by my caravan, which is a farming community.
Uh-huh.
This is what the local farmers buy now today. And it's every bit as badly built and put together, but it works. And that's what the farmers, the working people, buy now.
Exactly. Exactly. And I like that knife, and I like working knives. I've never hidden that fact, and
Yeah.
I love the pretty ones too. But the working knives and stuff are just they're just fun to have, And I mean, and I'm a guy that I work with hand tools every day at my job, so I really have that as a touchstone, I guess, or as an affinity. I get just as excited over just a regular
Yeah.
old basic knife than anything else. Let's see what you got there, John. That looks like a good working knife.
Yeah, this is Sabre Barlow. I've talked about this brand before, and Tom had that. If you'll remember the original Bowie knife and Sabre brand. But I wanted to talk about this one a little bit because when I look around on eBay, I always try to find like Barlows with really good bone handles, and this is probably one of the more affordable options you're going to find out there. And these were made in the 60s and had the original style Sabre Barlows were made from these bone handles, and you can see how beautiful that saw cut is on there.
It
And
is nice.
the finish on it is just amazing. And when you're lucky enough to find one of these, you can maybe get them for around $15, and it's just insane the price to quality ratio that you get. You see the beautiful patina on that blade.
Oh man, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's nice.
Stick an edge and leave it how it is.
You just leave it alone, Steven. That's all you do.
But
Yep, just put a little sharpness on it, maybe just a
that's
slight.
Yeah,
clean the pivot out, sharpen the edge, and just leave it as it is.
And
That's
there you
right.
go. There's the Sabre logo there.
And they were made in Japan. Weren't they?
yes.
They were made in a lot of places, but the bone
Yeah.
ones, the nice ones, were made in Japan.
And they were fantastic. That is as good a Barlow as you're going to get anywhere at any time.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so those deals are out there, even on eBay. You just gotta hit the right time, hit the right place, right time. I find that a lot of times in the middle of the week is the best time to shop because everybody's looking on it on the weekends and stuff. So sometimes those midweek auctions that end in the middle of the week are some pretty good deals to be had.
Well, it's funny. I bought 3 knives this afternoon before I came on here, and it was a Schrade USA made, and I've got 2 old timers, and I'm not sure if they were made in America, but they were oldish knives. But I got 3 for 40 quid, which I just think, what can you buy for 40 quid that's going to have a wee bit of history? It's just
Right.
Exactly.
Enjoy it so much.
But that's not my oldest knife, but it is an older one from the 60s. So there you go.
Yeah, that's nice. And I wanted to talk about the knife community a little bit since we have JB, because he was a lot of my inspiration for how I run my channel, how I operate and stuff, and going with the DSKFS motto and that he and Zach live by and stuff. And I just really glad that we're building out this really good and supportive, positive community. It means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to you, JB, and I think that's one of the things that draws a lot of people in here to us and to our side of the knife tube, as it were. And do you have any thoughts or anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. And then, and for me, I do what I do because I was inspired by Jimmy Slash, what he was doing with his community. And that guy would give away so much stuff. You could sign up. He'd send you a little box. It might have had a knife. It had some candy, just little stuff. And he said the reason he did it was because, we all have bad days. We all have bad days. It happens. Life kicks you in the groin sometimes. And if you're having a bad day and you go to that mailbox and you find this little box, and it doesn't have to be anything special, but to the idea that somebody took the time out of their day to think of you and to do that. And man, that just inspired the crap out of me. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yes.
I want to do something like that, I should say. And, you know, I try to give back as much as possible, because without the people watching, I always say we're just some crazy dudes talking to a camera. That's really what it is. And
It's true.
and back what I said about the live streams, you know, like doing stuff like this, it's perfect. And I will say, when I got out of the military, you know, we talk about the military and we give one another crap, but that unit camaraderie type of situation that you have in the military. I mean, I was in the military for 20 years, you know, and
Right.
I didn't really realize I was missing that.
Yeah.
And this community has given that back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just fantastic. It means the world to me personally.
Yes.
So, you know, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. You know, I mean, without the viewers, we're, like you said, just crazy guys talking about knives into a camera. But I really love the live streams. I love being able to interact with you guys on the panel, to interact with the guys in the chat, and then even during the regular videos during the week and stuff, people are having their stuff. I was so honored. Stuart came on yesterday.
That was a good interview.
Oh, thank you. He had actually reached out to me and you know, trusted me to be the person to help him curate his collection on YouTube, and I thought that was fantastic, and I felt honored that he, you know, chose me to do that. He just sent me an email and says, "Hey, I want to do this, and I want to have you, you know, do the stuff." And I thought, wow, you know, that's okay. I'll have to figure it out, but fortunately, Tom had done the hard work on that. He kind of helped me to get it uploaded and everything yesterday. So thank you again, Tom, for that.
No, you're welcome. But hey, I hope you have him on again. He has some fantastic knives that I had never seen before. And
we have a second part 2 planned.
Good.
We're gonna work on that. I don't know when that's going to happen. It just, you know, goes down to scheduling, just like everything else does.
Oh, sure.
But then, yeah, really, any other collectors that would love to come on, any of us would be happy to do that. And kind of, if you want to show off your stuff, you don't have to have a channel. We'll be glad to.
What was that make a knife that he had from Japan? That was, I've forgotten the name of it. That most of his knives were
Fury.
I have never heard of them, and some of the examples he was showing last night were fantastic looking knives.
They were, and they don't get a lot of.
Never heard of them in all the time I've been about here. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you heard of Fury knives, JB? Never. And the fit and finish on them was just amazing.
I will, Gary. I'll ask Stuart if he had anything on those shelves. Oh, another thing I didn't explain, but I should have, is that's not Stuart Harvey. He didn't want to share his last name, and I don't blame him. But
oh yes, it was.
but that was not Stuart Harvey, because it was funny. Stuart left a comment on there and said, "I look a lot younger and I sound different." Oh, shameless plug. There we go, Tom. Let's bring you up for a shameless plug.
Well, my shameless plug is I've started a series of Saturday morning chats. They're about half-hour interviews with other channels. RJ was on my inaugural, and I did John from Jail Ventures just this weekend. Scheduled for next weekend is Slip Joint Sawyer, Matt. He and I sat down and had a nice chat. I've got John scheduled. Sorry, John, for let the cat out of the bag, but I'm going to be sitting down with John, getting him for the following Saturday. And then I have Randy from Randy's WSG for the following Saturday.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
I would just like to echo what RJ said. If there's any viewers out there that would like to get with RJ, a lot of people are intimidated by the technology and all this and that. It is so simple. All you need is your phone or your laptop or whatever. It is very easy to do. Please don't be intimidated. Come on and have some fun, because we know there's some collectors out there that don't have channels, but they got fantastic knives that we would just all love to see. So that was my shameless plug.
Absolutely.
Thanks, RJ.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of guys that I think the YouTube guys in particular, we've kind of figured this out, but we just want to share our collection with the world. And for guys that don't really want to do the YouTube thing and get involved in all that stuff, we'd be glad to show the knives you want to share. And another thing with the technology is that really, if you want to show your face, great. If you don't, we can just show your hands and the knives. It works out both ways. We can do it. It's a very easy thing to do. So we're glad to help curate those and help to show those, because at the end of the day, we just want to see all your knives too.
Slip Joint Sawyer says, "Hey Tom, you're the king of the shameless plugs. Will you do one for me?" Well, consider this a shameless plug for Slip Joint Sawyer. Check him out.
Yeah, do definitely check him out. Matt's a great guy.
Well, he's all right.
He's just all right. Well, you would know better than us. But it was funny how you and I kind of got him started on his channel. Yeah. That was funny. For those of you that don't follow us on Instagram, Matt was showing his knife collection completely organized and all this other stuff, and I said, wow, that's really cool. And Patty says, "Oh, stop all wasting all that time and just start a channel already." And he had a channel the next day. And so that was cool.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we were there. It's come on up to the house when you come to Blade Show. Well, Zen, I would love to. I absolutely would have a blast hanging out with you. I have no idea what year I'm coming to Atlanta, but at some point maybe. I'm glad to know I'm welcome. That's for sure.
Do you see, you've got Atlanta, which is a big blade show. Is there traditional blade shows as well? Separate ones that is more geared towards just traditional?
Well, Blade Show,
none that I know of.
Yeah, Blade Show is like the big knife shows. For most people, like myself included, here in the U.S., if you go to gun shows will usually have knife dealers there, and that's where you're going to see different knives. And so it kind of depends on what you're looking for, or they may have more modern knives, they may have some older knives, they may have antique military knives and bayonets and things of that nature. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. But now I haven't seen anything that was like just a knife show. It's usually
for the upper Midwest. The only thing that I can think of that comes close is Shepherd's Hills Cutlery there in Lebanon, Missouri. They have a big annual gathering there.
I watched the GEC gathering, and it's fantastic because they've got just big glass trays full of knives that you've not seen before, and you get the old timers who've been collecting for 30, 40, 50 years. And just seeing that is just...
GEC has it at their factory, and so does Case. They have one at their factory. So those happen, once a year.
That's what I was thinking of, is like, doesn't GEC call it like the Roundup or something like that?
I forget.
Exactly.
Well, Rob Bixby always takes his bike down there and he does the videoing. But there isn't a whole lot of them, I'd love to see more videos because you get to see more knives. That's
sure.
I'd love to start a slip joint one in Northern Ireland, and it's getting close to the point now where there's probably about 10 people that I sort of know around this, which I know is small, but you've got to start somewhere, where I could just hire the top floor of a pub or something and go in and show knives, slip joints.
So, Big Red, maybe you can answer this. You were at the what show were you at?
I was just at Blade Show, Texas.
Blade Show, Texas. So, Gary at the Last Ranger says, "Good question. Does Blade Show have traditional vendors?"
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Let's see. Well, I mean, Rosecraft was there. They have their traditional line. I've been to I forget which one it was, but Case was at one of the blade shows I was at. Now, of course, you have a lot of custom makers that do custom slip joints and that type of thing. So you definitely get the high-end custom deal. But I mean, there's a couple of, like Patty was saying, the collectors that'll have their big booths, their big tables or whatever, and they've got the glass cases full of knives and stuff, and they're selling them and showing off collections and that type of thing. So there is an element of it, but it's not heavy on the slip joint. But yeah, I've definitely seen a slip joint. Like I said, Case, Rosecraft. I mean, GEC doesn't really do anything like that. They've got their own thing, like we mentioned. But there's some.
He's got a follow-up question. Has Finch ever been at a blade show?
No, not as a presenter. Not as a presenter. I know they've been there just walking around, like everybody else, but they've never done one. I personally would love them to be there because I'd probably spend most of my time there. But
yeah, that's one of the things that I saw. I'll have to send you that video, JB. But the guys that are in the slip joint cartel down in Texas, they have a guy that belongs to them named Bill Ruppel.
Okay.
And he is just signed a deal with Case, kind of like how they worked with Tony Bowes.
Sure.
And Bill Ruppel makes fantastic slip joint knives, custom knives, and he is going to work with Case. And so I'm really interested to see what he's going to bring out. They're going to work together to bring out some of the patterns that Case doesn't usually have in their lineup. So he's going to kind of go through their back catalog and put his twist on it. I'm hoping it's something that is in my price range.
Yeah.
Or even
if Case are making it, will be in your price range, because like Tony Bowes, I mean, you couldn't bought one of his knives for much under 2,000, but the Case knives that he made were beautiful.
Yes,
absolutely amazing quality. I've got a couple and I wouldn't swap them for anything.
So
I will have to say, when I was at Blade Show Texas, I had the opportunity to talk with Ethan Becker.
Nice.
Man, I tell you what, I mean, you want to talk about a knife legend. I mean, been designing, obviously you've got all the BK knives he's done for K-Bar and stuff like that, but just an awesome guy to talk to. And stories, oh my goodness, that guy and his stories, it was so much fun. I talked to him for probably 45 minutes.
He's got an original Kephart knife, and then he came out with a Kephart knife reproduction, if you will.
Yeah, beautiful.
So I think he has like one of the only two verified Kephart knives that were made by local blacksmiths. So yeah, he's quite an individual.
Oh yeah, and a character, man. Oh my goodness, he was so much fun to talk to, and it was pretty funny. Because he's not a young man, he's been designing and making knives for quite some time, and it was so funny. Somebody asked him, he's like, "Well, you're gonna be at Atlanta, Ethan?" And he's like, "Well, if I'm still walking, I'll probably be there." It was just too funny. But it was, to talk to guys like that, because I'm still, as far as the knife world, I'm an infant. Truthfully, and just to be able to talk with him and have him share the stories about his knives and how it was really cool. Really cool.
And I think that's the joy and why we love this hobby so much, because like you get them knife makers, if you imagine they're getting a week out of the shop, they must be so excited, because them boys spend hours upon hours in garage sort of shops, just constantly making to make a living. And just, as you say, the stories are going to pick up from blade shows over the years and whatever. It's just a fascinating hobby that just you keep learning every day.
The one thing the funniest thing I probably talked with him about is, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but he did a whole line of cookbooks and stuff as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. I wasn't until he got into explaining it. And like I said, he's been designing knives forever. And he said, designing knives is easy. He's like, cookbooks? That's a whole different story. And I just thought that was so funny. I was like, really? But then again, he's like, the old adage, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. Yeah. He's like, cookbooks for work. I just thought that was funny.
I remember the case representative. I don't know. He's the one that does the interviews, and so I can't remember his name, but he told a story about a man that worked at Case Knives. I think he started like right after high school. He was 17 or 18 years old, and I want to say he was in the 70s or 80s, and he actually died of a heart attack at his workbench. But he had worked there for 50, 60, 70 years or something. He said this was just a man that loved building knives, and yeah, it's morbid to think, well, he died there, but the same way, he's like, if you're going to go, do you want to go doing something you love? I mean, but to just put, your whole life's work into something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. To have that privilege.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, if I don't go and see my wife and make some tea, I'll be for the hijack and a heart attack myself, I think. So
I never did get my coffee there, Patty.
We've been going about 2 hours, so I think this is probably about as good a time as any to wrap this up. Thank you, my esteemed panel, for joining me today. And thank you to everybody that was in the chat. I've had a good time as usual. I hope you all did too. Yeah. Any last words from anyone?
Well, it's been a pleasure to be here with Big Red, and just I've really enjoyed speaking to him face to face. Nice.
I was going to say, TK, Tom, Patty, RJ, thank you very much for having me on. I tell you what, I love doing stuff with like you guys and Tobias because I learn a lot. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You guys are awesome. I learn a lot about slip joints from you guys, and I just appreciate what y'all do. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, sir. We learned a lot from you too. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all the viewers. There's no reason for us to be here without the viewers. So thanks.
Absolutely.
And the chat was very active again today as usual. So thanks everyone for showing up. Appreciate it. And of course, thank you so much to the rest of the panel. JB, great to meet you.
Good to meet you guys. Absolutely.
Yep. JB.
And a big salute to Kitty.
We're going to have to do that chat sometime. We'll have to set that up. I know you're really busy, so just whenever you have an opportunity, let me know. And
we will get it done. We will get it done.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. And fantastic. I just want to say thank you for coming on. It's one of the few opportunities I have to really get to meet people face to face, if you want to call it that.
Absolutely.
And so just
as close as
it's so exciting to see who's going to be coming on each week. So I really give props to RJ for always kind of pulling that slot machine and pops up.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, everybody have a great week, and we will see you back here at RJ's Lives next Sunday. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.